Yeah. I'm Madame Donuts, and I own Donut Dynamite with my husband. We live and work here on Maui. We opened our store about 7 months ago in the town of Wailuku. And so far, it's going quite well. It's been really amazing how people have come to find us, and people people keep coming in. So we keep making donuts. I was born and raised in the Philippines, and I have 2 other siblings. And my mom have always been quite good at figuring out what our strengths were. My sister was very good at organizing the house, so she cleaned, and my brother worked the farm, and I ended up in the kitchen. So I've been cooking for the family since I was about 9 or 10 years old. Many years later, when I moved to the States, I got interested in sports and exercise, so I actually majored in exercise science and forgot about cooking for a while until about one summer I had to buy a KitchenAid for a friend, and I thought I'd buy myself one too because it was really cute. I found an orange KitchenAid. It looked really good in my studio apartment, and then I thought maybe I should use it. So I borrowed my friend's book called Baking with Julia Child, and I said, I'll make croissants, just like that. And he said, croissants, why don't you start with cookies or brownies or something more simple? I was like, I want croissants. It sounds interesting, intriguing, and complicated. So I made my first croissants, and they turned out really good, and I was really inspired. So I started making more and more pastries, and then I switched my focus from exercise science to making pastry. So I went to Culinary Institute of America at Greystone campus in St. Helena, California. I was living in San Francisco at the time, and I drove every day to school because I thought that was the best school I could attend. Even if there was a couple of other culinary schools within the city, I thought I wanted the clout and the education that the CIA offered. And I think it was worth it. I had a great education, great connections, and that's actually where I met my husband, who is also my partner in Donut Dynamite. I always loved donuts. My very first job was actually at Dunkin' Donuts when I was 15. I did not think I was going to be making donuts for the rest of my life after that, but you always have a soft spot for it. So many years later, I became a pastry chef. Somehow, I would always sneak in a donut on the pastry menu in every place that I worked at. I can speak through donuts. Like, I express myself through donuts. I think donuts are very humble, and also they're the underdog of the pastry world. And I found it to be challenging, changing people's minds about donuts. Because when I tell people I wanted to make donuts, they're like, really? You're a CIA-educated pastry chef, you want to make donuts for a living? And I say, yeah, because I'm gonna change the world through donuts. So when I decided to start a donut business, I thought, we'll make brioche-style donuts. Brioche is pretty much in the same family as croissants, which was my first baking project. It's actually called the rich man's bread in the pastry world. It's an enriched dough. It has a lot more eggs and butter than any other dough out there. It's also probably one of the more complicated doughs to make. To me, I wanted that donut to have that turnaround, like, hey, it's humble, but then it's also so luxurious. We always hear the quote, let them eat cake, by Marie Antoinette. But if you actually look at what she had said, in French, she said, let them eat brioche. Because brioche is that, as I said, the rich man's bread. It's the Cadillac of all doughs. And I wanted to make the Cadillac of donuts. So, brioche donuts it is. We create our donuts as if they're a composed plate, where you have your starch, your protein, and maybe your side dish. it isn't complete until you put all those flavors together or those components together. So it's very important that your main ingredient, the dough, is really, really good. So anything that you put on it is just literally a glaze on the donut. You bite into that dough, it's not cloyingly sweet, it has a good texture to it, a good pull, a good structure. We make everything from scratch, from the dough to our toppings. I even make my own handmade sprinkles because I don't like the waxy texture of most sprinkles that you get out there. I wanted it to be really as natural as can be. I look at the donut as my canvas, and I express my creativity through it. I express my story, even my life story on a donut. I found making donuts to be my vocation. Somebody actually had said that to me, like, this isn't just a job to me, this is not just a career either, it's your vocation. I was like, yeah, my calling. I never thought of that, but you know, you go through life going through phases and doing many different things, but all those experiences put you in one place, and this is where it put me. And I really feel like I'm changing the world through a donut.